Keep it locked. I see y'all in the summer. How about that? I see y'all in the summer. May, Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo, what's up? Some Mexican out there. Want that work? Let's go. There's somebody out there. What's up? Yeah.
As you guys heard on the audio, Jermall Charlo acknowledged David Benavidez' challenge of fighting him on September, in which he put a date on it. A few days later, Jermall Charlo accepts David Benavidez' challenge by stating there's a Mexican that want that work. Let's do it in May on Cinco de Mayo. In other words, Charlo want the fight right now, which don't surprise me at all because Jermall Charlo was the one that called out David Benavidez last year and stated he was going to knock him out. Like I said before, it takes two to rumble, especially when it comes to that lion's den. It will always take a lion to challenge another lion. Therefore, even though Jermall Charlo did not mention David Benavidez's name, we know he's talking about Benavidez because when he said there's a Mexican that want that work, we all know it ain't Canelo Alvarez. I could guarantee you that much. The whole boxing world know Canelo Alvarez is too busy cherry picking a fighter coming off a loss and a 2-year layoff, Akhi. Therefore, we know Canelo is in the witness protection program by the WBC franchise designation. It's clear as day that Charlo is referring to Benavidez, the one that forced Canelo Alvarez to announce the new protection program. It's not just NBF when it comes to Canelo, it's also NMF, in which Canelo Alvarez stated he's not going to fight any Mexican undefeated fighters. Thanks to Benavidez, he's only interested in the Chavez Jr., guys like Lopez who are 2 weight divisions below him, or the Angulos of the world. That's why Jermall Charlo rips lions only. It's always going to take a lion to challenge another lion. The boogeyman at 160 that put fear in both Canelo and Gennady Golovkin. The NMF rule does not apply when it comes to Jermall Charlo. Unlike Canelo, inside of that lion's den, it's free smoke when it comes to Jermall Charlo. That's why he challenged the boogeyman, the most feared at 168, David Benavidez. We all know that's something Canelo is not willing to do. Matter of fact, Canelo Alvarez paid witness protection to maneuver around David Benavidez. He requested to fight Akhi personally from the WBC because, truth be told, Canelo Alvarez is the WBC president. With that being stated, hopefully this fight will come to fruition. It's clear as day that both fighters want to fight each other, so there isn't anything holding back the fight from happening. I think it's a matter of time. David Benavidez is fighting on March, so that May date is not going to work. September might be the date. Like I said before, the perfect tune-up for Jermall Charlo to stay busy until then is to fight Eubanks Jr. Furthermore, both fighters should agree to fight each other if they are both successful ahead of time in order to promote the fight early. That way, we could put a stamp on it. And obviously, we will have something to look forward to. Since Fury won't fight Wilder, Tio won't fight Devin, Ryan won't fight Tank, Canelo won't fight either Charlo, David Benavidez, and last but not least, Gennady Golovkin will never dare to fight Demetrius Andrade. So this fight will put the standard for the year if it can get finalized. We all know David Benavidez and his father stated that Charlo's a beast. He's a monster, even more dangerous than Canelo Alvarez. On the other hand, David Benavidez have the size, the hand speed, the strength, the heart, so on and so forth. It's going to be a lovely fight for the fans. What is y'all take on this fight? Subscribe below, click on the notification bell, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and we out here.
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko,
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt. It's not a championship. It's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko are two sensational fighters who carry the industry.
Ask Cameron Duncan, do Top Rank have like columns of fighters, and they say, we don't want this guy fighting the black fighter, we don't want this fighter fighting the Mexican fighter, and so on and so forth?
You're gonna get into the racial stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
That's a theory there by the greatest matchmaker, probably, in my opinion, ever. And I'm not going to mention his name either, but you know what I'm talking about. And he used to have a thing up on his board, NBF, no black fighters. And when I was taught to bring up a fighter, you know, and again, it's just, he used to say to me, you can go anywhere in the country, and I'm going to leave it at this. I don't want to go into a long discussion because people are people in God's eyes, and we're all the same. He used to say to me, you can go anywhere into a city in America or anywhere in the world and ask a white guy, and he didn't say any other, he didn't say anything about Hispanic, anything. Ask a white guy to throw a jab, and half of them are going to turn backwards and throw it like a girl and everything. Ask any black man on a street corner in any city in the world, and they will snap out a jab in a heartbeat. And I used to laugh. He said, they're just more physically gifted. And he said, and so they have speed, and better to stay away from them. Nothing personal. So I said, okay. And I've lived by that. And, you know, I don't want to sound like some weird guy, but, you know, you're trying to be safe with your guys. And so, yeah, there is a thing about that, you know, but not in a bad way, in a very respectful way, you know, to be careful. So that's all.
The last man even said they doing that to protect them.
Right.
Somebody beat them, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is protect them from the big black guys.
So you would favor Devin Haney to beat Vasyl Lomachenko?
And with the fighter, I'm only going to put him in a fight that I believe that he can win, right? So I don't know how to answer that question.
Did you say you would only put your fighter in a position where, in a fight where he can win?
Where I believe he could win. Yeah, I don't put a fighter in where he has no chance and he's just in there for a payday for me and him. I don't do that.
So is it more about how you...
I don't put a fight out. That, again, goes back to Leonard Ellaby. What he was trying to say. It's risk-reward.
Right. So if you were in a situation where you felt like, I'm going to just use hypotheticals. If you thought that Devin Haney was a bad matchup for Teofimo Lopez, in essence, you wouldn't make that fight because you didn't want to put Teofimo in a situation where you felt like he couldn't win. Is that what I'm hearing?
Only if, I mean, you sometimes make a fight because if let's say the fighter has a 40% chance of winning. So he's like, in your mind, an underdog. If the reward is great, you make that fight. It's risk-reward.